Water is the most readily available extinguishing agent at sea. It breaks the fire triangle by absorbing tremendous amounts of heat. Water expands 1,700 times as it turns to steam and extinguishes fire by cooling and smothering. Its disadvantages as an extinguishing agent are the fact that it conducts electricity and represents a hazard to firefighters in Class Charlie fires. It is also corrosive and heavy. Foam extinguishes by vapor sealing, air exclusion, and cooling. It is produced in 3% and 6% solutions.
Foam is good for Class B fires. It's capable of putting the fires out by basically smothering the vapors or stopping the flammable liquid's ability to process vapors. The lob-in method is where you take the nozzle and you apply the foam in the air and let the blanket gently drop on top of the vapors. There's the bank-in method where you actually apply the foam solution prior to the spill area and let it move forward over top the spill. And the other one is the sweep method, or banking it off of some solid object and let it float down on top of the fuel vapor.
Carbon dioxide is most effective in a confined space. 1.5 times as heavy as air, it flows to the bottom of the space and breaks the fire triangle by displacing the oxygen and smothering the fire. It also expands 450 times in volume and drops to minus 110 degrees Fahrenheit. It is non-toxic and effective on Class Bravo and Charlie fires, but represents an asphyxiating hazard to personnel.
The way the CO2 extinguishes fires is by reducing the oxygen down below 15%. If you are in an enclosed atmosphere, you need that oxygen also to breathe.
Dry chemical extinguishing agents attack the chain reaction.
Dry chemical is good on Class Bravo and Class Charlie. Some of the dry chemical, if it is rated for A, it would be ABC dry chemical, is good on Class Alpha fires, but it doesn't have much reflash protection, so you would need to back that up with water or tear apart the Class A material.
Despite their effectiveness, however, dry chemical agents should be used as a last resort because they are highly abrasive and corrosive. Halon is a vaporizing liquid that produces a colorless, non-conducting gas that is 2.5 times more effective as an extinguishing agent than CO2.
Halon works by interrupting the chemical chain reaction on the fire. It has no cooling effect at all.
It is non-corrosive and the best agent to use in spaces that contain sensitive electronics or equipment. When fire prevention efforts fail, the speed with which the crew reacts is usually the difference between a catastrophe and a crisis averted. Small fires are easily extinguished, but fire grows exponentially over time. When fire breaks out, every second that elapses heightens the possibility of disaster. Fire detection is the critical first task.
Hey Dave, we got a fire in the crew berthing area, Class A. Nobody's in there. I'm securing the hatch. Get a hose team.
Installed fire detection systems include photoelectric and ionization smoke detectors, fixed temperature heat detectors, rate of rise heat detectors, and flame detectors. Automatic alarm systems utilize detection devices that are wired to local alarms and to remote receivers on the bridge. Where installed detection systems do not exist, fire patrols should be maintained as necessary to ensure that all vessel spaces are free from unsafe conditions. The patrol function is most critical after normal hours of operation or when normally manned spaces are vacant. If you discover a fire, sound the alarm. Immediately shout a warning or use a shipboard communication device. Make sure the message reaches the officer of the watch.
Land! Fire in the engine room!
Randy, what is it?
Fire in the engine room. My neighbor put it out. Fire on the port main. Broken fuel line.
I'm gonna set the bill. Call the Coast Guard. You get everybody up.
Okay.
Give the bridge an accurate report about the location of the emergency,
Captain, this is Howard. We have a hot door at crew berthing.
what is burning, and any actions that have been taken to control the situation.
And we're breaking out the hose line at this time, preparing to attack the fire.
John, we got a fire. Come on.
Alert others who may be in danger. Help them escape. You may be able to extinguish a small fire with portable fire extinguishers, but don't try to be a hero. You'll only complicate the problem if you become a victim of the emergency. Confine the fire by closing doors and hatches. Prevent fire spread by shutting off ventilation systems and moving combustible materials away from adjacent bulkheads. Shut off fuel supplies and electric circuits that may be fueling the fire.
Bridge, second mate.
Throughout the emergency, a chain of communications must be maintained.
Roger that. Class A fire in the laundry room. I'll sound the alarm and call the cap.
From the emergency squad to the on-scene leader to the wheelhouse. Fixed fire extinguishing systems that attack fires indirectly are installed in high-hazard spaces like the engine room. Fixed systems work by flooding, smothering, inhibiting, or cooling the combustion. Fixed systems use a variety of extinguishing agents, including carbon dioxide, halon, foam, and water emitted by sprinkler heads. Other fixed firefighting appliances aboard the vessel include fire mains, hydrants, the international shore connection, emergency generators, fire and bilge pumps. Only authorized personnel are permitted to activate a fixed fire extinguishing system. The system should never be activated until the captain or mate gives the order. The atmospheres created by fixed fire extinguishing systems can become asphyxiating or toxic and extremely hazardous to personnel. All personnel must be evacuated from the space prior to triggering the system.
48 Q-men.
A complete crew muster must be taken to ensure that everyone has gotten out. Seal the space by securing access points, ventilation systems, and machinery. When the order to trigger the system has been issued, break the glass and pull the control valve or cylinder.
Releasing the carbon dioxide is a conscious thought. You've already fought the fire the best way you can. You can't do it anymore. You abandon the engine room and you manually release the carbon dioxide, which before it actually releases will shut down the ventilation, the boiler fans, the fuel oil pumps. All of that will stop automatically. And then you pull the boiler release, a siren sounds in the engine room for 15 seconds, and then the release is immediate, flooding is immediate. Hopefully the fire goes out immediately. But it's a one-shot fare. Once you release the carbon dioxide into the engine room, you've used everything you have. You don't have a second chance.
The vessel must be equipped with a sufficient number of fire hydrants, positioned so that any part of the vessel is accessible with overlapping water streams. Cargo holds must be reached with at least 2 streams of water from different outlets. One must be a single length of hose. Shut-off valves must serve each hose to facilitate their removal. The fire main must have isolation valves. The international shore connection is located on each side of the vessel. It is used to connect the ship's fire main system to shore-based firefighting equipment. The firefighter's outfit consists of the Nomex hood, turnout pants and boots, turnout coat, helmet, gloves, and eye protection. You're required to be capable of properly donning this gear in 3 minutes. Turnout gear is fabricated from heat-resistant material that offers protection at temperatures up to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit for short periods of time. The gear is lined and incorporates a vapor barrier. Pull the Nomex hood over your head. Ensure that the opening corresponds to your face area. Lay the bib portion flat on your shoulders. The Nomex hood goes over the head straps that secure a self-contained breathing apparatus. Pull on your turnout pants and boots. Ensure that your pant cuffs remain outside of the boot tops. Fasten the waist and front flap fasteners. Adjust the suspenders for a secure fit. Adjust the waist strap. As you put on the turnout coat, make sure that the hood bib lays flat on your shoulders. Fasten the front and neck snaps and make sure that the collar is turned up and closed. Adjust your helmet for proper fit. Pull down the ear flaps. Position the chin strap so it fits properly. Ensure that the gauntlets of your gloves are inside your sleeves. Helmet-mounted eye protection should be utilized when it's available. Goggles or glasses should be worn over the hood. The firefighter's outfit has advantages and disadvantages. It withstands direct flame impingement for short periods of time and protects the wearer from radiant heat, falling debris, and sparks. It is limited by its temperature rating, tends to induce heat stress injuries, and decreases mobility and dexterity.
The protection far outweighs any of the problems. I would much rather have the gear on and take the disadvantages than I would with trying to go into a hot, smoky environment without the gear. It is my best friend in there.
The Personal Alert Safety System, or PASS device, is a critical component of a self-contained breathing apparatus that is fitted with this feature. If you stop moving, it alerts others that you may be in trouble.
The wearer is motionless. It emits an alarm.
This PASS device is activated when you turn on the air bottle. It makes that initial noise when it comes on. The pressure gauge responds to the pressure, and the flashing green lights indicated that the PASS device is in use and ready to go. This tells the operator or the wearer that their device is ready to alert if they get a low alarm condition or low air pressure, or if they don't move for a given period of time.
Personal atmospheric meters enable you to monitor respiratory hazards. Flashlights are standard components of the firefighter's personal protective equipment. A lifeline is a crucial safety link for personnel entering hazardous spaces. For members of a hose team, the hose doubles as a lifeline.
There you go, Dave. Okay, thanks.
A lifeline can also serve as a communications tool.
Okay, are you okay?
One pull indicates that entry personnel are okay.
Advance. Okay, advancing.
Two pulls indicate they are advancing.
Take up slack. Okay, taking up slack.
Three pulls instruct exterior personnel to take up slack. Four or more pulls are a call for help.
Okay.
Firefighting appliances include the axe, the spanner wrench, and the knife. The gated Y permits a water source to be divided into two hose lines.
This is a 2.5 to 1.5 inch gated Y. This is used for connecting to a 2.5 plug or 2.5 hose line, so that you now can connect two 1.5 inch hoses to the 2.5, whether it be a plug or a hose line. And we have the ability to shut down the water flow at this point with the gates.
Reducers and adapters permit hose lines and fittings of different configurations to be used in combination. The all-purpose nozzle produces water as a solid stream or as wide fog.
This should be operated with the backhand coming up, pushing forward, or pulling back to the fog position, or solid stream.
Vari-tip nozzles can be adjusted from straight stream to wide fog by twisting the tip. While the vari-tip nozzle provides an infinitely adjustable discharge pattern, it is more likely than the all-purpose nozzle to be clogged by debris. The all-purpose nozzle can pass debris up to a 1/4 inch in diameter through either the fog or stream tips. The applicator produces low-velocity fog. It can be fitted to the all-purpose nozzle after removal of the spud tip. The applicator is used for indirect firefighting. It can be inserted through a door or hatch to discharge low-velocity fog or used to protect other personnel from radiant heat. The fixed deck monitor discharges large volumes of water.